Hi, this is Nesem Ertan, and I would like to present to you my coaching approach. So let's go discover a whole new world, whether you're a teenager, an adult, a student, a professional, an individual, or even a couple. You are made of layers, and to get to know who you are and what will make you happy or powerful in life, we need to understand all of those layers. The first layer is your natural constitution, and I like to use Ayurveda's doshas to help assess that. And then, of course, there's the type of education that your family or the people who raised you gave you, the cultural environment in which you grew, the beliefs that comes with, and also your life experience. What happened in your life, what types of things you got to experience. And then, as a result, you have powers and you have challenges, and it's not always easy to stay in balance with all of these things. So, on the one side, you have everything that is empowering you, your natural, genetic, given strength areas, your nurtured skills and taste buds, the things that you tried out, the content you were given, but you saw growing up. Like if your parents were musicians, maybe you will have had more chances to put hands on an instrument. So those are the things that were nurtured. And then, of course, there are also lots of potentials that are there, but were not discovered, not nurtured, not tried out. So your box might be full of things that you haven't gotten to play with yet. And then you have people around yourself that are supporters and inspirers that really help you out in life, that make you happy, that teach you things, inspire you. But then on the other hand, of course, we have some limiting beliefs that are not helping in our lives. We have wounds also. Everyone has wounds, big or small. And we haven't healed all of those, and we sometimes don't even know in what ways they're impacting our lives. And then we have limiting cognitive and behavioral programs. The way we do things, we think it's our character, but sometimes it's also due to our education. And we also have disrupting, challenging, or even sometimes, if we're really unlucky, toxic relationships in our lives. And I use a set of tools like positive psychology, narrative coaching, systemic and cognitive behavioral therapy approaches to help transcend the blocks that we might encounter on our road when we're trying to empower the great stuff that is there that can help you have a happy and fulfilled life. And of course, there are some tools that are essential, and we, depending on what generation you were born in and what type of school you went to, some people have had a chance to get to be taught these things when they were a child, but most of us didn't. So we also need the tools that help us learn how to analyze and connect the dots between the things that empower us, nurture us, in order to be able to design the right life, make the right decisions for ourselves, whether it's choosing a job, a study, the right person for us in our love relationship. We also need to understand our emotions because they're full of information to make the right decisions, but a lot of us don't really know how those traffic lights work, and we sometimes try to avoid them, or maybe we get overwhelmed by them. And so it's also really important to learn these. And then mastering nonviolent communication is really key to be able to set the boundaries right in our relationships, all types of relationships. Because, for instance, sometimes we think that we can't say no to the boss, or we think if we say no, we're going to be seen as the mean person. Or sometimes we're quite aggressive instead of just finding the kind but firm notions with which we can just set boundaries. And we also need to know how to empower our self-esteem, our motivation, how to develop healthy relationships, and so many other useful tools need to be in our box to navigate through life. And those are things I can help you with also. So my job is to get you from A to B, to help you to be your co-pilot as your coach. And so the first thing, of course, is to define the goal. But often people come and they think they have set a goal, but then when we look behind it to understand why you want to reach this, we most of the time uncover deeper goals, deeper needs, priorities. And so it's also important to have first session work on how to define that. And then, of course, my job is also to equip you with the types of tools I mentioned before for your personal development, and also so you can be autonomous beyond our coaching. The idea of coaching is really to have a certain number of sessions together, and then for you to have the capacity to keep using those tools and not have to have someone helping you your whole life. And so the idea is to empower your strengths, transcend the things that are challenging you or hurting you, to be able to design your behavior, the way you live, your lifestyle, based on everything we will learn together. And something that's really important for me is to help map out who you are and what fulfills you. And so that's something I do with some tools I developed, I'm going to mention later. And also to have you equipped with a compass that will help you assess things throughout life, to know if this is the right type of relationship, if this activity is good for you, is this job really the end goal, or is it a pivot job? So all of these types of questions. And so the world that you are building for yourself every day, that is based on who you are, on your natural constitution, well, it's the sum of the things you love, because we're only capable of showing interest that is totally authentic and natural towards the things that are compatible with us, things that our genetic capacities allow us to understand. And so understanding the sum of the things you love, analyzing what they have as common points between them, will help us paint the picture of who you are. And so that's why I developed something called the love list method. And that's something I really like to use with people, because it's also very highly motivating. It's full of good vibes and energies, and it helps us work on an energy level, also on a high and light energy level, that brings a lot of nurturing elements for everything that we want to reach through the coaching together. And so who I am, well, I'm Nesem Ertan. I'm an RNCP certified coach. I did go to school to be a coach. Since 2015, I've had over 500 hours of coaching with individuals, and I also have a master's degree in strategy and negotiation from University of Paris 1 Sorbonne. That I had in 2009. And ever since 2010, I have also been working with companies of all sizes in Paris and Luxembourg as a strategist and also as a design thinking facilitator. So I also do a lot of workshops, a lot of auditing, and things like this. And both of my worlds nurture each other, because my strategist brain also helps my coach brain, and vice versa. And so if you're interested in knowing more about these things, you can contact me. My website is worlds.lu. If you're interested in coaching, there's a specific section for that. You can follow me on Instagram on my account, I am what I love. So it's written, I am we love. And my email is nesh@worlds.lu. And here's also my phone number. So make sure to contact me if you have any questions, and have a really, really nice life that makes your heart sing.